How do sociologists deal with data collection bias? Imagine trying to understand a big puzzle with missing pieces. That's what bias can feel like in sociological research. It can sneak into data in many ways and make findings less accurate. So, how do sociologists make sure their picture is as clear as possible? They use smart strategies to spot, reduce, and control bias throughout their research. First, sociologists recognize different types of bias. Sampling bias happens when certain groups are over- or underrepresented. For example, if only young people are surveyed, the results won't reflect older populations. To fix this, they often use probability sampling. This method gives every person in the population a known chance of being chosen, making the sample more representative. If probability sampling isn't possible, they clearly note the limits and interpret results carefully. They also try to include minority or marginalized groups to avoid missing important social dynamics. Next, they work to reduce bias during data collection. Social desirability bias occurs when participants give answers they think are socially acceptable rather than true feelings. Sociologists combat this by ensuring anonymity and confidentiality. They also use neutral wording in questions and sometimes ask indirect questions to get honest responses. To prevent participants from guessing the purpose of the study and changing their answers, they keep the research purpose secret. Interviewer bias is another concern. Sociologists train interviewers to stay neutral and avoid influencing responses. In qualitative research, they reflected on their own influence, a process called reflexivity, to spot and reduce personal biases. After collecting data, sociologists analyze it with techniques to detect bias. They might weight the data to correct for over- or underrepresentation. They also use statistical models that account for selection effects, helping to make the results more accurate. When proxies are used to representing social traits, they check if these proxies truly reflected what they are supposed to. If not, that can introduce bias. Finally, sociologists are open about potential biases and limitations in their studies. They share these details so others can evaluate the findings properly. Peer review and replication studies are also key. They help verify results and reduce the chance that individual biases skew conclusions. In short, sociologists handle data collection bias by designing careful sampling methods, training interviewers well, using statistical adjustments, and being transparent about their research. This approach helps ensure their findings truly reflected social realities.